during the temporary conditions of a conquest in progress, yet once this is completed the overlord is bound to protect the traditional established order of the conquered country exactly as he does that of the home territory. The Chalukyas as a rule conformed to this principle. Like their predecessors, Chalukyas maintained a central secret area. During this period the machinery of the government became so complicated as to necessitate the multiplication of the offices. Among the prominent offices mention may be made of Thane Brigade or Chamberlain, Barnasa Brigade or Steward, Antharparadyaksha or Superintendent of the Harem, Kadata Brigade, Anpal and Sandhi Vigrahika and so on. Manasolasa prescribes for a Sandhi Vigrahika such qualifications as acquaintance with many languages and scripts, skill in dealing with feudatories and vassals and expertness in diplomacy and finance. More than one office appears to have been attached to one officer. For the sake of administrative convenience the empire was divided into a number of territorial divisions like Rashtra, Visaya, Nadu and Thana. They were administered by Rashtrapathi, Vishayapathi, Nadarasa, Brahmakuta. Nadarasa was sometimes called as Nad Prabhu. Thana appears more as a fiscal unit rather than a territorial unit. The judicial, revenue and military administration of the Chalukyas resembled those of their ancestors. Social and economic conditions. We have already referred to the changes that were taking place in the structure of society under the Rashtrakutas. Though the society was based on the traditional Varnasramadharma, it was being modified to meet the demands of the time. The spirit of self-sacrifice and loyalty to the leader and lord continued to be an important social trait. Samsvara committed self-immolation by drowning himself in the Tungabhadra river. The Jaina rite of Salakana and Sulabrahma, casting oneself on spear points from a height, were also practiced. Sati was not unknown and there are recorded instances of this custom, though they are not numerous. Women took part in administration and acts of charity. Princess Akadevi, elder sister of Jayasimha, carried on the administration of a province and actively engaged herself in fighting and sieges. Lakshmidevi, queen of Vikramaditya VI, is described as ruling the kingdom of Kalyani as did the emperor. Some queens were noted for their learning and musical attainments. The courtesans accomplished in music, dance and drama. They certainly enjoyed much wider latitude in society that was not otherwise particularly noted for taking life easy. Both elementary and higher education came up for king's patronage. Regular schools imparted elementary instructions. The Ghartikas and Brahmapuris were the centers of higher education. As K.A. Nilakantha Sastry said, education in all its stages was vitally connected with all social life and institutions, and was productive of more abiding and tangible benefit to the people than appears in our days. Agriculture was the backbone of the economy. Importance of irrigation to agriculture was realized, and attention paid for the proper maintenance of tanks. The Chalukyas followed the land system as prevailed in Karnataka before them. Domestic industries prospered and trade with foreign countries maintained, was. Trade and manufacture were organized by corporations formed for purposes of economic activity. These autonomous guilds were playing a vital role in the economic life of the country. Guilds had their own rules and regulations which were binding on their members. They had insignia and maintained their own militia. Among the merchant guilds, the most celebrated were the 500 Swamis of Ayavalabhura. Another merchant guild, the Mumaradandas, had their headquarters in Halebid, which was later shifted to Kurgodu in the Bellary district. They dealt with both wholesale and retail trade in all commodities. The urban life as depicted in an inscription from Turtle shows that in spite of the numerous invasions and plunder and burning there was economic prosperity during this period. Religion. Saivism was the popular religion of the land. Most of the ruling monarchs were Saivas and they often visited the celebrated shrine at Srisela. The Pasupata, Kalamukha and Sakta cults also flourished. Mailadevi, queen of Samsvara I, made a gift to a Pasupata Junanarasi. Kolhapur Mahalakshmi was the center of Sakti worship. The pantheon honored included Vishnu, Vinayaka, Hanuman, Hattiksvara, Mallikarjuna, Nandi, Mahakala Bhairava, Durga, Aditya and Chandra. There was also a shrine of Aditya.